Morning. How's about we go get to island number 8 today then, eh? Good night's sleep under our belt, some good food in our tummy. It's time to hike. It's day 5 on the Hebridean Way. Alright, we are off. I just had a bit of a tantrum because it started to really heavily rain just as I got everything out of my tent. So I had to scurry to sort it all out and I just got a bit grumpy. I was like, why? Why now? That's a cool bridge. Like an S shape. Here's the hotel and restaurant specialising in local seafood. Here's the stone circle I was talking about. So I was camped in the hills over there, looking across to these stone circles here, or this stone circle.
This stone circle is thought to date from the 2nd millennium BC. And although all of the stones haven't been excavated, it sits in a breathtaking location.
You know, I think sometimes parts of this route can feel a bit random. So why does it go up there? But then you get up here and it's like, this is where it comes up here. I mean, look at this. The islands ahead, the mountains around. It's just stunning, it really is. And the added benefit is you warm up very quickly. Man, I've got to take these waterproofs off. Trees! I haven't seen trees since I arrived here. Oh, that's cool. This forest is actually a community experiment to see if they can grow trees here in such a harsh and exposed environment. And I'd say it's working. Oh, look at this, that's so nice.
It felt phenomenal to be amongst leaves and bark, and the atmosphere of the place was heavenly, with birdsong now replacing the empty sound of wind on heather. There was a real mixture of deciduous and coniferous trees, and a bear trail to follow, if you fancied an extra walk in your very long walk.
So this is the route of the old road, and this is the new one. Thankfully I can follow this because there's some big trucks on the main road. So this will take us all the way to Loch Maddie.
This next leg offered loads to enjoy, including yet more peat beds, with peat at various stages of harvesting, drying and bagging. I found myself fascinated by the process, and it was easy to imagine generations of families working the lands, stories being told and memories being made.
We made it to Loch Maddie. Bam. There's a fish farm there, probably farming salmon. Snacking on the go. Got my outdoor provision nut butter. This one, peanut, almond and raspberry. It's gonna be good. A bit of fuel. Feeling a bit tired today. I tell you what, these signs are really quite terrible. The distances just vary so much. It's just one of those days today. It showers, then it's hot, then it showers, then it's hot. That's my life right now. Goodbye road, hello bog. It's time to hike up there. So that's Ben Moor, and the guidebook says it's going to be very wet underfoot. When the guidebook says it's going to be wet underfoot, I'm probably going to be swimming. Oh dear. Oh god, that's so slippy. Well, I can definitely imagine this taking quite a while. Ay, ay, ay. The thing is, there is always a way. It just takes a while to find it. Sometimes you end up with wetter feet than others, but there's always a way around it. All right, look at this. So we've got a shell here, and then a little bit further on, just here, there's lots of shells and the remains of crab claws. So without a doubt, this is where otters come. So they probably come up from the water here. They use this hard rock as a base, and they crack into the shellfish and eat. That's really cool. Oh, it's gonna be a good view. Without a doubt, this has got to be one of the best views so far. First best, second best, I don't know, but up there in the best. Jeez, this is mad. It's an absolute minefield of bog. It's going well though, going well. Also, I'm struggling to keep moving because I just keep looking back like, what? Oh my word, that is insane. It's like Hawaii or something. Wow, look at this. It feels next to impossible to describe this scene. There's just so much going on. You know, I'm only 5 days in, and I have to say I'm really enjoying the variety on this trail. Every twist and turn brings something new, from the coast to the hills to the views. It's just making me really happy. It's so rewarding. Woo! Outer Hebrides, you gem! Oh, that's nasty. It's just a water slope, so it's so hard not to slip. The bog is absolutely fine on the flat. It's when it's on a gradient that it's really tricky. You just got to try and keep the weight in your heels. It's definitely an art. I think that the producers of this trail could sell it as a bog walking skills course, because you're going to be pretty good at finding good paths after this walk. Well, goodbye Benmore. We've come along here and then down here and survived. So behind me is, in my opinion, one of the coolest archaeological sites so far on the trail, and it's a broch. So it's sitting within this loch and it's accessed via a little walkway, and basically between 2,000 and 2,500 years ago a family would have lived in this broch. So it's a house, a stronghold. It would have been sort of a tower shape, and my favourite thing about brochs is on the stone path that they'd build from shore to their broch on their little island is there'd be a rocking stone, so it would make a noise if someone walked over it, and that's how they would know if someone's coming to their land, to their broch. But obviously its location is extremely strategic. It's close to the coast. You've got the inlands for the animals here as well, fishing obviously on the coast. It's a cool little site actually. Hello road. Well, this is it. The last leg for the day to Berneray, island number 8. 3 kilometers to go, and I'm very happy because I'm going to make the shop in time to do a bit of a resupply. Ah, nature. It's a fine line between you and I. Here we go then. I think this is the final causeway on our trip here, and this one was built in 1999. This is really not that old. It's crazy, isn't it? ferry is there. That's where we'll be heading tomorrow morning. Berneray Shop and Bistro, that's this way. But perhaps most importantly, there's the welcome to Berneray sign. Island number 8. Here. Here it is, look, just on the right. Looks quite abandoned, but there's windows open. So I'm hoping all is gonna be good. Hi there.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah, grand, and you?
Good, good.
Good. Oh, falafel. Yeah. Wow, this is really nice. So this place I actually had to book on Airbnb. So it's not a bunkhouse in a traditional sense of you just rock up and get a room, kind of like a youth hostel. Another day, done. Boom, boom. Whoa. I don't know what that was. Never mind. Psst. Do you want to know a secret? I found carrots in the fridge in the free bunkhouse food. I don't want to buy a massive pack of carrots at the store, and now there's carrots. There's 2 carrots. I'm so happy. Now this is my kind of food. Oh man, the weirdness continues. So I'm currently sorting out food. I've got pasta and stuff for the next few days, and then everything else I'm trying to dry, sleeping bag and stuff. I've got some cards and things I'm writing, and then if you come out here, well, I had hung up my tent. Inner and outer. Outer is absolutely dripping, so I'm just trying to get them to dry. So just holding your tent up in the wind can be a really great way to get it to dry quickly. It's not even about the sun, it's the wind. I mean, the sun helps. Just got a bit of patience, you know? It's not a bad view.